Hi there everyone, it's Jenny Jordan. I'm the CEO of Need a VA, a virtual assistant outsourcing company in the Philippines. Look, I was just doing a post today and I thought how relevant this is. You know, I don't know how many people have asked me about outsourcing, but I came to think about it that it's all like that movie in the workforce of Groundhog Day. Does anyone remember that movie, The Groundhog Day with Bill Murray? That is where we get up and we do our stuff day in, day out, just like we did the day before, right? You know, we all guilty of that, you know, because it's comfortable. Right, you get up, you got the routine right down to it's damn boring, really. But we do it because it feels good, because we are familiar with it. So and sometimes it does feel a little bit uncomfortable moving out and away from what we've always done. And I am, oh, thank you, thanks for the heart. I am no different than you know, like, I get up and I do the same things, clean my teeth, you know, the breakfast, you know, I have a shower and then I'm ready to face the day. But when things get a little bit argy-bargy in your life, you know, when everything seems to crowd in and, you know, you don't know what to do, and it's really easy to fall back into a habit of just ignoring what's around you and just get on with it, you know. And I learned a life lesson yesterday, and because I've been putting off things that with my accountant that I should have paid a lot more attention to because it was a little bit difficult, a little bit uncomfortable, because you've got to find those receipts that substantiate what you're actually claiming, you know. And this is a couple of years ago. I've been a naughty girl and been caught out like that. And what happened is that I've been ignoring the accountant and not totally giving him everything that he wanted. You know, I was just giving him an email here and an email there, and it just got a little bit crazy. Well, I broke my routine yesterday and I said, well, it's got to be done. It's like a dentist appointment. You just got to get it over with, you know. Well, that's how I liken going to an accountant. So I'm in there and I'm facing it, and now he's drilling me. He's making me feel uncomfortable, making me feel, oh gosh, have I got that receipt, you know? And he's giving me the hard facts. The hard facts is, if you don't do this, Jenny, you're going to get a fine from the taxation department. Okay, well, that was my little wake-up call. So why I'm telling you this story is because a lot of us in business are doing the same sort of things day in and day out, right? It feels comfortable, you know, and even though we are spending more time on doing the things that we're doing, we're spinning our wheels. We're like Bill Murray in that story where you know, you get up and you go to work and you say hello and say the same things to everyone around you, and then you do your work and you go home. And that really hit me last night, because that's what we do. Because one, a lot of us don't like change. Okay, we like being familiar. It's like an old pair of slippers. You know, you get that on, so oh, that feels really good. You know, you put your Uggies on as we're in winter in Australia. That's what we're in. That feels like home to me. When I walk in to my office, I put on the Uggies and I feel really comfortable. But getting back to you in your work life, it doesn't really make any grounds. It doesn't get you forward, for instance. And a lot of reasons that people stay with what they know is that, one, they have a trust factor. No one can... Sorry about that. There was a phone call in the middle of that. I should have turned that off. No one can do it as good as me. It takes too long. to show someone else the ropes. I really can see the benefit in doing outsourcing, but where do I go? What happens? So what I wanted to do is just to break it down for you a little bit, because what happens is that when you need to think about brick and mortar, a brick and mortar businesses, what happens in a brick and mortar business if you have got new staff starting with you? Okay, you spend the time and getting them to know how things run, right? You sit them down, this is your desk, go and show them where the lunchroom is, go and show them where the bathroom is. It's really important that you know where that is. And then you show them the tasks at hand. What are they wanting to have to do? Where to find that information, and then you step them through the day. Now that's really great, and the new person will take a couple of times. They'll come back to a supervisor or someone's that's looking over their shoulder, making sure that they're doing right. It's the same thing with outsourcing. People have got a really sort of warped idea sometimes that when you go to get an outsourcing or an assistant, that what happens is that you just say, here, go for it. Now, outsourcing is fantastic. It will free you up. It will give you, get rid of those tasks that you no longer want to do for yourself, right? So what you need to do is take the same approach, and that is very, very easy for me to explain what the next steps are, because I do it all the time. So your virtual assistant is only as good as the training and the instruction that you give. They are the busy bees, the worker ants that will do all the work. But like the brick and mortar person, they need to be shown what to do. Okay, so how do you do that? And that's asked of me all the time. What you don't do is that you don't write a lengthy email that wanders off and gives background story, because they don't need that. What they need is concise dot points that will give them the task. They don't want to need to be searching for the task. They need to be able to find the task that they need to do. Better still, they will need to be able to, better still, what works really well is that if you can sort of shoot them a Jing video. A Jing video is a free software that you can download and then just tape your screen. You can take them just like you do the brick and mortar person. Here is where you click on to go in. Here is where the program is. Here is where it's got to go. So it steps the VA through the process. So it's easy for them to then to replay that video, play it once or twice if they don't get it, which they will normally do. Hi Petra, how you doing? Really good for you to jump on like that. Really loving to see you there. But that's how it goes. It's the same thing with the brick and mortar person that comes in. You need to handhold, and okay, that is great. And communication is another thing. Okay, just because you gave the task to that VA, you need to be able to make sure that that if when they do the task, that they'll come back to you and they say, "Oh, how's this?" And if you don't answer, it really slows things down, because we can't move on with progressing in the tasks if they don't know that they're doing it right. Can you imagine if you don't return calls, or if you don't actually do an email back to them, the work stops because you've actually stopped communicating. So that is a really important that you know that, because that is one of the biggest things that happens, is that people say, "Yay! I've got that outsourced. How good is that? That's hands off." But that's not this, the way it goes at all. It's a communication. It's a relationship between the VA and you, the business person. But guess what? It gets better than that, because the brick and mortar person that I told you about, that is introduced to your workplace and what you're wanting to do. That one person is hired to do one task. You've hired her to do perhaps some data entry. Now, you wouldn't go to that same VA and say to her, that same employee, and say, "Now I want you to do some website design, followed by a little bit of coding, etc., etc., because they would freak out. They've been employed for one job and one job only. The beauty of outsourcing a team is that you have a team behind a team. So you've come there with one task that you have probably another 4 or 5 that you could let go, right? And the thing is that you don't need to go out and hire another 3 or 4 different VAs, because guess what? It's all under the one roof. So what happens is that people will come in and just outsource. They have an idea of what they want to do, but it may cover 4 or more VAs. But instead of going out and hiring 4 or 5 VAs, they deal with a project manager. How cool is that? The one project manager, here's the good thing. The one project manager will manage your tasks amongst the 4 or 5, 6 or 8 or 9 VAs that may take to do all of your work. So you don't have to speak to 8 or 9 people. You have someone like a runner between you and the VAs, so that he manages the VAs. He will give the tasks out in easy to follow fashion, because you've given that information, right? So then they do their tasks. They come back with a report to the project manager. He checks that work. He makes sure that it's right, and then he forwards that report onto you. Okay, because you can say, you get the end product. It's already been quality checked, and then you say, "Wow, that's done. Yay, that's great." Or you give feedback. "Well, that's not really what I want." But this is the same sort of communication that is with the brick and mortar person. This is what happens in virtually as well, is that you need that line of communication so that they are able to do your tasks. And it will be like that you have that open two-way conversation, and it's beautiful because your work's getting done. There's no more Groundhog Day for you, because you've actually been able to pass that off. You've given that task away. So what does that mean to you? You're looking for other areas in your business that you can grow. That you can get in contact with your creative side now, that you can do things that you've put off because you were in the ditches. You're able to now free yourself. How cool's that? And that way you will be working less within the business, because you have outsourced it. You are going to be able to grow that now. You're out of the ditches, you're able to get back that free time, and you're able to look at more money-making activities that grow your business. So I just want to put that out there, because don't get stuck in that Groundhog Day where you think that you need to do everything yourself, and you go and do it over and over and over it again. So that was just my words of wisdom today. It really made sense to me, because I was in the Groundhog Day, right? I put my hand up. I was doing the Groundhog Day because there were some things I didn't want to face. But sometimes you need to do that. Change is good. That's why I'm talking to you about change. It's time you did something a lot different to see bigger results. So if you can resonate with anything that I've said here today, please reach out to me either in this post or contact me through needava.com. And I'd love to be able to talk to you on a one-to-one basis. And I'm usually the person that you'll end up talking to in most cases. So it's bye from me now.